such a pretty day out. You know, no excuses as far as the weather not.
Yeah.
That sounds cool.
I'll tell you, I need to tone up really bad.
Okay.
Badly.
Okay, we will go ahead and get started. We're going to get started in silence for a minute or two, just standing tall on our mats, your feet about hip distance apart, so placing them underneath your hips, rolling your shoulders up toward your ears and then back down your back, and just letting your arms hang by your side, closing your eyes if you're comfortable doing that. Crown of your head is reaching up towards the ceiling, so it's almost like someone has a string through the center of your head and they're pulling you up, pulling you straight. Speaking of standing up straight. And just bring your attention to your breath. Bringing your focus to your breath helps you focus on the here and now, helps you bring your attention to your body and your mind. And the fact that you're here in this room and on your mat, taking care of you. And that is to be commended. So again, your breath, just notice your breath. Don't judge your breath. Just notice if it's shallow or if you're breathing deep. If you're inhaling or exhaling through your nose, your mouth. Just here for 3 more breaths. Your eyes open, and then with your next inhale, lift your shoulders up toward your ears like you're shrugging your shoulders, and with your exhale, allow them to go back and down your back. Again, inhale and shrug those shoulders up toward your ears, and exhale, release them down your upper back. One more time, shrugging, and then letting that breath go as well as your shoulders. Allow your right ear to fall toward your right shoulder. So just stretching the side of your neck. Then bringing your gaze up through center, allowing your left ear to fall toward your left shoulder. Up to center and looking over your right shoulder, so just turning your neck so you're looking over your right shoulder. And then bring your gaze through center, gazing this time over your left shoulder. Bringing your eyes to look forward. And then just dropping your chin toward your chest. Don't force it. No need for your chin to actually touch your chest, but just dropping your gaze down toward the floor. And bringing your gaze up again. We're going to inhale and sweep our arms out and up. As we exhale, bring your palms together and bring them to heart center. And then keep bringing them down and inhaling, sweeping your arms up again. Exhaling through heart center. And one more time, inhale up. And this time we're going to exhale and sit down in chair pose. So you're just going to sit your bottom back like you're getting ready to sit in a chair. You're holding your chair pose. You can always bring your hands to heart center. Wiggle your toes because you want to make sure your weight is in your heels in this pose. think it's from the Twilight series. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then slowly rise up, straightening your legs, inhaling your arms up again, exhaling through heart center, inhaling as you sweep those arms up, palms meeting, exhaling through heart center one more time, inhaling up. And once you get up, floating your right hand over to the right and reaching your left fingertips over toward the windows. So you're feeling a nice side body stretch along the left side of your body. Gazing up toward the ceiling, drawing your belly in toward your lower back. Your next inhale, lift your torso up and your arm, and then float over to the left. Gazing up toward the ceiling. And then lifting back up, reaching both arms up toward the ceiling. We're going to bring them down through heart center. We're going to sweep our arms 3 more times. So inhaling as you lift them up. Exhaling through heart center. Inhaling them up. Exhaling through heart center, and one last circle. And once you get up here, just leaving your arms up and then taking a slight back bend. So you're just kind of reaching, even if you just move an inch toward the back of the room. Feeling a back bend in your lower back. And then inhale, lift your torso up. Exhale as you fold through center, but this time come all the way to a forward fold. So you're folding your body over your legs and just letting your head hang. Forward fold. From here, inhale to a halfway lift. So you're going to take the round out of your back, and you're going to bring your hands to your shins, and the crown of your head is reaching towards the front of the room. And then you're going to exhale to forward fold again. Inhale, bending into your knees and sweeping your arms out and up, bringing them all the way up above your head. And as you exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Good. Now step your right foot back about 3 footprints. And your feet are staggered, so they're not one right behind the other. Your right foot's going to be out to the right, but all toes are facing the front of the room. And this is pyramid stretch with our legs. Have a slight bend in your left knee. You can release your arms down and just let them dangle. And then bring your torso about halfway so that it's parallel to your mat. And you're starting to feel a nice stretch through your left hamstring. And then go ahead and bring your torso all the way down, folding over your left leg. Letting your fingertips come to the ground. And your nose is coming somewhat close to your leg. Just letting your head hang here and keeping that slight bend in your left knee. Engage your core and lift yourself up halfway again, keeping that bend in your left leg, and then lift all the way up so you're upright. Now, you're going to shift all your weight into your left leg and lift your right foot off of your mat, even if you're just keeping your toes on the mat like this. So shifting your weight to your left leg, and then you're going to just bring your arms behind you, like if this is called airplane lunge, and you can bend over, or you can just stay upright. Your toes can be touching, or you can lift your foot further away from your mat, whatever you're comfortable doing. So it's a balancing pose, testing your balance. Find somewhere on the ground in front of you, a spot that's not moving, and focus on that. Keep breathing. And then slowly just bring your torso upright and your right foot to meet your left. Good job. Now step your left foot back about 3 footprints for pyramid. Bending into your right knee, letting your arms just hang. Bring your torso forward so it's parallel to the floor. Crown of your head reaching towards the front of the room. And then fold completely over that front leg, your right leg. keeping that slight bend always in that right leg. Feeling a nice stretch through the back of your leg. Your next inhale, bring your torso up halfway again. And then slowly all the way up, shifting your weight into your right leg and just bringing yourself into airplane lunge. So you can just touch those left toes back, sweeping your arms behind you with your palms facing down. Lifting that left foot off of your mat. I feel like that's quite the end. To the song. And then slowly bring your torso upright. Good job. Okay. Now, we're going to inhale our arms up and then bring them, as you exhale, to heart center. Heel toe your feet out to the outside edges of your mat, so about like this. And have your toes facing, the corners of the room. And then we are just going to squat down. Just squat as far as you want. And then we're gonna lift back up. So we're just gonna do that 3 times. That's 1. And then let's go down and up and then down and up, making sure you draw that belly in. And then this time I want you to go down as far as you can comfortably, and we're just gonna hold it. You can always bring your hands to your hips or just drop them, whatever is most comfortable for you. You might start feeling your thighs burning a little bit, and that is okay. And then inhale as you lift those legs up, heel toeing those feet back in, underneath your hips. And then inhale and you sweep your arms out and up. And then exhale, swan dive. So you're gonna have straight arms and a straight back, and you're gonna swan dive down to forward fold. So you're keeping your back straight as long as you can, and then when you can't keep it straight any longer, just fold over your legs in a forward fold. And just hang here. This is also called Dangling Pose. Go ahead and heel toe your feet out, maybe just an inch or 2, so they're a tiny bit wider than your hips. And then while you're here, you can just hang and feel that stretch, or you can grab opposite elbows for ragdoll. And just letting your head hang. You can rock back and forth if you'd like in your ragdoll, placing a bend in one knee and then the other. And then switch the cross of your elbows just to get a little different of a stretch. And just hanging in stillness or rocking back and forth, whichever feels best. Releasing your fingertips down to touch your mat. Heel toeing your feet in so they're underneath your hips again. Inhaling to a halfway lift, so bringing your hands to your shins and straightening your back, good. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up, sweeping those arms out and up, palms meeting. Exhaling to heart center. Good job. Inhale your arms up, and then exhale, twist to the right, keeping your arms stretched out. So you're twisting to the right, and you're gonna hold this twist. Focus on reaching those fingertips from the front of the room to the back of the room. And inhale as you lift your arms up and turn your torso to the front, and then exhale, twisting to the left. Same thing. Trying to create a straight line from fingertips to fingertips. Inhale as you turn to center, sweeping both arms up, and then exhale, cactus your arms open. So you're opening up your chest, gazing up towards the ceiling, drawing your shoulder blades toward one another, spreading your fingers apart, engaging your entire arm. Next, inhale, bring your torso upright, extending those arms up, and twist to the right again. Stretching those arms out. Inhale, arms up, torso forward. Exhale, twisting to the left. Inhale, up. Exhale, cactus those arms again. Looking up toward the ceiling. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, swan dive again. Straight arms, straight back, all the way down to forward fold. Placing a slight bend in your knees to protect your lower back. Good. Now place your palms down, bend into your knees, and come down to tabletop. So all the way down to your mat and table. So your palms are going to be on the mat and your knees. Make sure your wrists are under your shoulders. Can you hear me okay? Okay. Wrists are under your shoulders and your knees are under your hips. Extend your right arm out in front of you toward the front of the room. You've got it just right along by your ears, fingertips reaching forward. And now we're going to balance and we're going to extend our left leg behind us, just placing our toes on the mat behind us. And go ahead and lift that leg up to about hip height, that left leg. And then draw your knee to your elbow underneath your torso. Just towards it, doesn't have to touch. And then good, extend it out long again. So reaching from the front to the back of the room and then crunching underneath again, drawing your knee toward your elbow. And then releasing down into your tabletop once again. Good. Now balancing more so on your right palm, extend your left hand out in front of you, reaching toward the front of the room with those fingers, keeping the crown of your head, reaching towards the front of the room too. In other words, you don't want to let your head just hang. Keep it up and engaged. Extending those right toes behind you, resting on your mat first, and they can stay there, or you can extend them up off the mat about hip height. Take a breath in. And with your exhale, crunch your knee toward your elbow. Inhale, sweeping your leg and your arm out again. And then exhale, crunching knee to elbow. And then relaxing back into tabletop. So placing that palm back down. And then allow your hips to fall back toward your heels for child's pose. Feeling a nice stretch through your shoulders as you have your arms out in front of you. Or you could always just hug yourself. That might feel good, yeah. And keep breathing in your child's pose. You can change the cross of your hug if you're hugging yourself. And then releasing yourself from your child's pose, go ahead and push back up to tabletop. And do some hip circles. So you're just going to circle your hips in one direction, doesn't matter which direction. So you're going to be coming forward and back on your wrists a little bit. Or if you're sitting, you could try and just like picture yourself doing a hula hoop. I don't know, see if you could like, get that abdomen engaged. And then switching directions if you're in your table, switching the direction of your hip circles. And then coming to stillness once again in your table. Crossing into your feet and coming into an easy seated pose. So just gonna sit comfortably on your mat. Fingertips out by our side. Inhale your arms up. And then exhale, float over to the right, allowing your right fingertips to rest on the mat and your left fingertips reaching up and over toward the windows, gazing up toward the ceiling. Make sure you're not just leaning into that right arm too much, that if you lift it off, you wouldn't fall. So maybe test yourself. Engage your core, and as you inhale, lift yourself up and then float over to the left. Really stretching those fingertips, your right fingertips over toward the wall. Lifting up that left hand just to test that you're using your core. Good job. And then inhale up, allowing all your fingers to just float towards the mat. Inhale your arms up. And then exhale, twist to the right. So you're going to allow your right fingertips to fall behind you, your left hand to just hold onto your leg or your shin, wherever it lands. Gazing over your right shoulder or just looking ahead, protecting your neck. Returning to center, lifting your arms up. And then as you exhale, twisting to the left. With your next exhale, while you're here in your twist, see if you can twist a little bit further, but make sure you can breathe as well. And then return to center, just allowing your hands to rest in your lap. And then drop your right ear toward your right shoulder. You can bring your right hand to the top of your head if you'd like, just to add a tiny bit more pressure to increase the stretch a little bit. And then lifting your head up through center, allowing your left ear to drop toward your left shoulder. Your left hand up this time. Not tugging or pulling too much, just adding a little bit. And then bring your head up to center, dropping that chin once again toward your chest, making sure your spine is tall. It should feel good down the back of your neck and your shoulders. Gaze up to center. We're going to shrug our shoulders once again. So shrug them up toward your ears and then allow them to roll back down your back. Again, shrugging them up as you inhale and then exhale back and down. One more. Shrugging them up and then exhale as you go back down. Good job. Now I would like you to extend your legs out long in front of you. And sit up tall. Your hands can rest down on the mat next to you or on your legs, it doesn't matter. But just sit up tall. This is called Dandasana, staff pose. And like we were talking about earlier, sitting up tall is just not the easiest thing. So this is a great, it seems and it looks like a simple pose, but I don't think it is. Because you're having to use all the muscles just to keep your legs straight and your torso upright. Stay here for a couple more breaths. And now I'd like you to inhale your arms up. And then we're going to fold over our legs. So keeping your back straight, hinge at your hips first. Go as far as you can with your back straight, and then when you can't keep it straight anymore, just fold over your legs. You can keep a slight bend in your knees. And just rest your arms down on your legs or on the mat next to you. Don't tug or pull yourself down. Just let gravity pull you down. And then walk your hands up your legs. Bringing your feet in so the soles of your feet are on your mat. And we're gonna just exercise our core a little bit. So keeping your feet down, extend your arms out in front of you. Make sure your chest stays open and your spine stays tall, and just lean back slightly just till you feel your core engage, and just hold it there. And then release, coming up to a seated position. I mean, you can hug into your knees if that feels good, releasing that. We're gonna do that one more time. So go ahead and sit up tall, opening your chest, extending your arms out in front of you, and leaning back just slightly till you feel your core engage. And hold it, but keep breathing, that's important. Draw your knees toward one another. They don't need to touch at all, but just draw them toward one another, not falling outwards. So 3, 2, 1, and release. And then go ahead and allow yourself to recline all the way down on your back. So adjusting so you're comfortable on your mat. And bring your legs up to, like I call them tabletop legs. You're just gonna bring them to 90 degrees above your mat. So lifting your feet off of your mat, so your feet will be in the air. And then allow your legs, your knees are stacked on top of one another, allow them both to float over to the right, over towards the ground. And then you want to release them there. If you would like, get you guys up. If you want to place a block, if that's comfortable under your leg, you can. You're okay. You good? Just in case you want to relax on there. And then your arms just go wherever they're comfortable falling. And keep breathing in your reclined twist. Breath in here. And then as you exhale, just slowly lift your legs up. You can use your hands to help you, bringing them back up to tabletop legs over your mat. So 90 degrees over your mat, and then allow them to float over to the left, shifting the block over to that side so that your legs can rest on that, placing the block under your knee, your left knee. That helps bring comfort to this pose. And all the poses and postures we do in yoga, nothing is ever meant to cause any pain or pinching. So if it does, lessen the pose or just come out of it completely. You may feel some uncomfortableness, that's normal because we're stretching and pushing our bodies, but you shouldn't even feel any pain. So draw your knees back up through center, and this time draw the soles of your feet together. So bring the soles of your feet together, and then you're going to rest your feet on your mat, allowing your knees to fall open. So this is called Reclined Goddess. So you're just butterflying your legs open, basically. And once again, your arms can rest down by your side, or they can rest up and overhead. I think that feels good in this pose. Or they can rest on your belly. Sometimes it's nice to place one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. It just brings your attention to your breathing and your heart beating. While you're here in Reclined Goddess, try to really relax through your hips. Just let them go. Release any tension there. Our hips are said to be one of those places where we really hold on to stress and tension. So this is a good pose to release that. Two more breaths here. Focusing on your inhales and your exhales. With your next exhale, draw your knees up toward one another, using your hands to help. And then once they meet each other, heel toe your feet out to the outside edges of your mat. And then allow your knees to fall in toward one another. So even coming up to the outside edge of the inside of your foot if you'd like. So just allow those knees to fall in. They don't need to touch. But it's just a nice counter stretch to our Reclined Goddess. Job. For our next pose, you're going to need your block. So I'm going to just make sure your block is within reach. Just bring the soles of your feet to your mat, to about the middle of your mat, just comfortably at distance. And you're going to grab your block, so your knees are bent. If you can bend your knees, and place the soles of your feet on the mat. And then you're going to push it to your feet, lifting your hips off the ground, and then sliding that block underneath your bottom. So just at your sacrum, which is where your spine meets your hips. So this is called a supported bridge. And once you have it underneath there, if you need to adjust it at all, but just relax through those hips. You okay? Okay, that's fine. You can always go back to Reclined Goddess. The soles of your feet together, butterflying with that back foot. Just keep focusing on your breath. Our breath is very powerful. One great way to use our breath is when we're feeling any type of stress or anxiety, or we have, an issue, a big decision, just to engage our parasympathetic nervous system, our rest and digest system. You can just take deep breaths in, and then as you exhale, extend that exhale so that it's longer than your inhale, and that engages that nervous system so that it helps you relax. It slows your heart rate, lowers your blood pressure, and will ultimately bring it more of a sense of calm to your body, to your mind. So very, very slowly, press into your feet, lifting your hips off of the block and removing the block, resting your hips back down on your mat. So resting your hips back down and then extending your legs long and preparing for our final pose, Shavasana. So just again, extend your legs long, allowing your feet to fall open naturally, arms extended down by your side with your palms up. If your palms up is a gesture of reception, so if you'd like to receive something, or you're open to something, or you can always turn your palms down to get a sense of grounding if you just need to feel attached to the ground. So you can always do that, closing your eyes. And I'd like to challenge you to bring something to the forefront of your mind that you are thankful for this Monday. And while we're relaxing in Shavasana, just think about that and express thanksgiving, gratefulness for whatever comes to mind. Maybe it's a person, maybe it's a place, an experience. The fact that you're here right now, I'm going to pushing yourself all the way up to an easy seated position, Sukhasana. Fingertips out by your side. And we'll take one final big breath together. So let's inhale, lift our arms up overhead, bringing our palms together, and exhale, bringing your hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra, bowing your head slightly, bringing to the forefront of your mind that thing again that you're grateful for, and just cherishing that. And I'm thankful that each of you were here this evening. Namaste.